Hello, loyal viewers. Joe, Donald, and I are here to continue our Mass Effect journey. It's time for the most critically acclaimed game in the trilogy, Mass Effect 2.
Damn, you got me kind of gassed up, Barack. Bro's putting out energy like he's on the campaign trail.
Bro, I've been waiting for this since the day you pitched the President's Play idea to me, Barack. Real fans know where I stand on this. Mass Effect 2 is the best game.
Now you two, I hope we've squashed our beef over the events of last game.
Donald, I'm ready to call it good if you are.
I was the one that was wronged here, but I'll be the bigger man and call it even Steven.
Being the bigger man is a common occurrence for you, isn't it?
You're really making this hard, aren't you, Sleepy Joe?
Okay, let's not sour the mood on episode 1. Let's get things started. As you know from the previous game, Joe, Donald, and I will take turns playing. Donald was the one who finished our time in Mass Effect 1, so I will be picking things up for us first for Mass Effect 2.
Thank God, because I am not looking forward to this game on Insanity difficulty.
Joe's death count is about to go through the roof. Just watch.
Let's provide a brief recap of the last game's events. As you know, we were a Sentinel, and I plan on keeping that consistent here in Mass Effect 2.
We were a badass renegade thanks to the mayhem I brought down upon the Novaria assignment, as well as my genius decision to wipe out the original council.
Ashley unfortunately did not make it off for Meyer.
Which is not what should have happened, by the way.
It's water under the bridge now, new game, new problems.
I'll keep my complaints to myself until we encounter Kaidan again. I can't believe I have to play a game with that piece of plywood now.
Okay, maybe killing Ash was a good thing. It's time for Donald to finally realize that Kaidan isn't that bad.
See, it's important to experience new things.
You will not gaslight me into accepting this?
Oh God, it's the full concentrated power of the sun.
You look like you could use some sunlight, Joe. I swear looking at you is like a natural flashbang.
I don't like the sun. It makes my eyes hurt.
I told you not to look up at the eclipse without your glasses, but would you listen? Nope. What would I know?
Did everything right. More than we could have hoped for.
Commander Shepard.
Mass Effect 2 is starting us off good here with Miranda.
Still, it's not enough.
BioWare can reduce the amount of ass shots in the game all they want. The skin-tight suit still perfectly shows off Miranda's figure.
You know, the elusive man never struck me as a cigarette kind of guy. I would have expected cigars from him.
Aren't those things bad for him? Or is he so rich he doesn't need to worry about the health problems?
Actually, advances in medicine and chemistry has all but eradicated diseases typically related to smoking, like emphysema and cancer. And make no mistake, the elusive man likes his smokes like he likes his bourbon, homegrown. He only smokes the finest leaf grown in the heartland of South America, which is one of the few areas on Earth still agriculturally viable in the 22nd century.
You know, realistically, the elusive man should probably be using a vape or e-cigarette.
He's just old school like that.
Bro's a 22nd century hipster. Instead of just using electric cigs, the man sticks with the old stuff.
So interesting beat here. It appears that for at least a brief while, the Council is led by humans.
Okay, I guess the Turians, Asari, and Solarians don't have a codified order of succession to replace their dead counselors.
I told you wiping those 3 buffoons out would pay off.
Mass Effect does, for better or worse, lean extremely heavy on the whole humans are special trope you often see in sci-fi. I don't dislike it, but I do think they should do a better job at making it make sense. I realistically can't believe the Turians are sitting back and letting humans take control of the galaxy.
That's the problem with the aliens. They got too complacent with their power. The Asari and Solarians especially have been sitting on their thrones for centuries. Of course, they were ill-prepared when a massive power vacuum opened up. As for the Turians, well, I told you those birds weren't shit.
3 ships went missing here in the past month. Something happened to them.
My money's on slavers. The Terminus system is crawling with them.
Oh, so now it's okay for the Normandy to enter the Terminus systems, but not when we're trying to stop Saren from unleashing the horde of space eldritch abominations upon the galaxy.
All thanks to the human-led council. No more red tape, no more bullshit.
Now on intercept trajectory.
Can't be. Stealth systems are engaged.
Well, maybe the Council had a point about telling us to stay out of the Terminus, because we're in the middle of getting ganked.
Someone didn't ward the jungle.
Well, goddamn Presley, it was nice knowing you.
The collectors must have seen what Presley said first about the alien squad mates in his data pad.
It is worth mentioning that Presley came around on the aliens in the end.
Somebody get that fire out!
No fucking way is that Kaidan.
That is indeed Kaidan Alenko.
Where the hell is Liara?
You dumbasses broke her heart, remember? Why would she be the closest squad mate to us for this cutscene? Since Ashley is dead, it could only be Kaidan.
Joe, God damn it, this is your fault. All you had to do was let Ashley live. Now we don't even get Liara.
Whoa, hold on, buddy. I wasn't the one playing when we rejected Liara.
Well, Kaidan is a romanceable option in Mass Effect 3. Maybe this is a sign we should wait for him.
Absolutely the
f-
not.
not.
It's not a bad romance, you know.
Yeah, that's gonna have to be a pass for me, Barack. Joe and I are actually on the same side here.
Listen, I live for my homies, but not like that. Man, this is a crazy contrast from how Mass Effect 1 started. All calm, and now we're running through hell.
Where are all the bodies at? Didn't a bunch of the Normandy red shirts not make it?
If I'm remembering correctly, 21 members of the Normandy crew did not survive the destruction of the ship. As for where the bodies went, I'm sure some of them were vaporized by the explosions or by the collector vessel laser beam. The rest of them probably got spaced.
I know you have your issues with the beginning of Mass Effect 2, Barry, but you gotta admit, this view is so good.
The destruction of the Normandy was admittedly an immaculate way to begin the next game. Mass Effect 2 definitely has the best hook for its game. It's not this that I have an issue with.
Enough analytical stuff. Why the f is Joker making us come up here and grab him?
You gotta understand, Donald, for a guy who can barely walk, flying a ship like the Normandy is everything for Joker.
The SR-1 doesn't even have the hot AI robot voice in it. It's a hunk of metal.
Just like us, we don't get the hell out of here.
No, we just have to.
Joker, I love you like a brother, but there is a massive hole in the top of the CIC. We gotta go.
It's like they know Shepard is still in the ship rescuing the guy with brittle bones.
It is odd that the collectors kind of just let the escape pods go and keep shooting at the ship that is clearly done for.
Well, Shepard just broke every bone in Joker's forearm.
Yeah, I think a broken arm pales in comparison to the cold vacuum of space.
So, quick question. Do people not talk about how this is pretty much Joker's fault? Shepard could have been on an escape pod with the rest of the survivors, but instead we're sitting here getting ready to die and plummet straight to a frozen wasteland.
I mean, yes, Joker should have abandoned the ship the moment that hole in the CIC opened up.
It'll come up in Mass Effect 3. Shepard dying because they came up to save Joker will be a sore spot for him for quite a while.
There goes 120 billion credits. Maybe Mikhailovich had a point. All that money to make the Normandy move quietly, just for it to get caught lacking by the collectors. Oh no, our gases are spilling out.
Turns out you were right, Barack. The cold vacuum of space is worse than a broken arm.
Shepard's death here is often debated. A lot of people believe they should have burned up in the atmosphere of the planet they're dropping to.
It does kind of look like they're starting to catch flame on the way down.
They're head to toe in body armor. They can handle a little fall from the upper atmosphere of the planet.
That is what they claim kept Shepard in one piece. Specifically, the helmet kept Shepard's brain from getting completely liquefied. On top of the fact that the planet, Alkera, has an average temperature of negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit, kept the body preserved. Okay, now this is kind of where I draw issue with Mass Effect 2's opening.
What do you mean, Barry?
There's a level of suspension of belief I'm willing to accept and a level I'm not. Cerberus being able to just undo the death of Shepard like this is really stretching it.
I gotta agree with Barack here. Shepard wasn't dead for a few minutes or something. It had to be months, if not at least a year.
It takes about 2 months for Liara to track down and rescue Shepard's body from the Shadow Broker. And then 2 years to rebuild Shepard. We're way past the point of brain death here.
Okay, but come on. The Mass Effect universe literally has faster than light travel and an all-purpose medicinal gel that can treat gunshots and burns just by slapping it on the injury.
Yes, but FTL drives and Medigel are well documented, and there are at least attempts to explain them. Project Lazarus is simply way too vague compared to everything else Mass Effect has going on.
All right, we don't need to tear down Mass Effect 2 too badly here.
Hey, our Shepard looks kind of different, doesn't he?
His scar, what happened to the scar? It's what tied the whole look together.
We went through facial reconstruction, Donald. That naturally would have healed the scar.
What? I didn't consent to that level of body modification.
Getting rid of our scar is probably the least invasive thing they did to Shepard during Project Lazarus, to be honest.
What power are you boys feeling?
Wouldn't energy drain be the go-to here?
It would be kind of redundant. We already have overload. Plus, tech armor will restore our shields.
Might I suggest the flashbang grenade?
That would be kind of redundant. We already have you, Joe. We can just throw you at the enemy and shine a flashlight.
Donald, I'm not that damn pale.
I'm feeling the flashbang grenade right now, so I'll pick it. We can always change it later in the game if we want or need something else. Time for Bard and Joe Shepard to rise like a phoenix.
Nah, I'm pissed at Miranda for getting rid of our scar. We earned that during Torfan.
Donald, what the did you want her to do? Heal our face and then deliberately scar it?
That would have been preferable, yes.
Well, if we're renegade enough, we'll certainly have plenty of scars.
Oh my God, Miranda. I think he's waking up.
Our breathing and heart rate is kind of popping off right now. Are we having a heart attack?
That's just the typical reaction when one lays eyes on Miranda.
Whoa, easy, Barack. Michelle might hear this.
Please, she doesn't watch any of our stuff. I practically had to beg her to come on and do the romance tier list from a while back.
Is that why you wanted to do this at the White House instead of at your place?
Hey, I got you 8 good years in the White House as my VP. The least you could do is let me gush about Miranda here where Michelle can't hear me.
Okay, that's valid.
I told you your estimates were off. Run the numbers again.
Not a bad last thing to see right before you go to sleep, you gotta admit.
I'm so used to hearing Joe simp for Jack and Kasumi, I forgot how down horrendous you are for Miranda.
Like you have room to talk. You'll turn into a fucking dog the moment Samara shows up.
At long last, the combat is starting.
It's just a tutorial mission, nothing special here.
Gonna keep it completely 100 here. This is not going to go as smoothly as it did in Mass Effect 1. I had 3 deaths, Donald had 4, and Joe racked up 5. A grand total of 12 total deaths. Things won't be so sweet here in Mass Effect 2, especially early on.
Maybe things won't be sweet for you two. I'm gonna set the record straight by the end of this.
You're not exactly inspiring a lot of confidence right now, Barack.
I'm just telling it like it is. Early game Mass Effect 2 is the hardest part of the trilogy, especially when you're on Insanity. We're all gonna need to be locked in until we get about halfway through the game.
Reload, Barack.
Oh, you're right, thanks. It's been a while.
Barack, how locked in am I going to need to be here?
Well, Joe, if you want to have the fewest deaths so we can keep Sentinel in Mass Effect 3, you better be ready to play like your life depends on it next episode, because you've got some tough recruitment missions.
I'm going to hit up my doctor for a few extra doses of meds.
Nah, this is crazy. How are we letting Joe get away with using PEDs?
One thing we're all going to need to do is remember to trigger our tech armor before we reach the next arena, so we don't have to wait through the cooldown.
Oh God, we're playing without the shared cooldowns removal mod?
I'm surprised you know about that mod, Joe.
There are a few cosmetic and quality of life mods implemented here in Mass Effect 2. But to keep the gameplay as intended, we will maintain shared cooldowns, so we get that true Insanity experience.
Barry, you're in a bit of trouble here.
Don't go dying during the tutorial, Barack. Insanity, difficulty or not, that's just embarrassing.
I'm cutting it kind of close here, but I think I can clear this just fine.
I'm suddenly a lot less confident about this if you're struggling on the goddamn tutorial, Barry.
Relax, it's shaping out perfectly fine. The key to success here will be good positioning and solid cooldown management.
If only Mass Effect 2 didn't steal our shotgun from us, this would be a cakewalk otherwise.
As much as I like pistols and SMGs, the basic ones you get at the start of the game are pretty damn mid.
Don't worry, at the risk of inflating my death count, I'm going to make sure we get a better gun so Mass Effect 2 doesn't eat us all up.
Oh boy, it's time to meet up with Jacob.
As some of you may be aware, Jacob was the protagonist of the mobile game called Mass Effect Galaxy, wherein Jacob and Miranda prevent an attempt to assassinate the Council using a deadly virus. The perpetrator was the Batarian ambassador, Joth Amon.
Oh, right, the game where Jacob is bald and looks like he's had the life sucked out of him.
Jacob got a bit of a nerf going from Galaxy to Mass Effect 2, it seems. In the mobile game, he could use assault rifles, had tech abilities like overload, and could equip heavy weapons.
Isn't there also an implication that he and Miranda had a bit of a thing between that game and 2?
They call Miranda an ice queen, but maybe they should be calling her a snow bunny instead.
I'll fill you in, but we better get you to the shuttle first.
It's your station, Jacob. I'll follow you.
This is the only time we will ever follow Jacob.
These metal bastards. We're low on thermal clips, but I'm a biotic.
Really, Taylor? You're a biotic? Because I damn sure can't tell with the way you never use your barrier.
So, let's talk about Jacob's origins in the early stages of Mass Effect 2's development. He was known as Cerberus Bodyguard. Part of securing his loyalty would have involved us helping him get over feelings for a Cerberus superwoman, who is essentially the prototype Miranda. Alternatively, you could help him hook back up with her.
Why would I help Jacob bag one of the finest ladies in humanity?
I can't imagine why we'd go out of our way to play Cupid for the squad mates.
Well, the Cerberus Bodyguard wasn't exactly quite like Jacob during development. He's described as a good-hearted man with strong personal morals. He had Southern manners and was a classic Big Brother type. The party member's template compares him to Corporal Dwayne Hicks from the Aliens franchise.
Barack, how do we know you're not making this up?
Mac Walters did a short interview on GameSpot like 3 years ago where he goes into detail about all the cut characters,
Just about everybody survived.
some of which would end up becoming the squad mates we know today. We'll delve more into this information as we keep building up our team.
Well, I can damn well tell this Cerberus bodyguard didn't make the cut, because nothing about Jacob Taylor screams big bro.
So Liara and Tali were still on the Normandy when it went up in smoke. What happened to Rex and the bird?
Garrus most likely left to go apply for Spectre authorization since we turned him into a renegade. Rex probably split to go back to Tuchanka so he can show his people the future.
How bad were my injuries?
I'm no doctor, but it was bad. When I first saw you, you were nothing but meat and tubes.
There's no way they revived Shepard from being nothing but meat and tubes.
This is likely a bit of exaggeration from Jacob here. We see Project Lazarus's process during the cutscene, and Shepard's body is,
Cloning?
well, relatively intact.
I don't know the details. You'd have to ask the scientists. But I'm pretty sure you're not a clone.
Nah, we're not the clone, but you might want to look out for one that's going to wake up in a couple months or so.
The clone should exist somewhere on one of Cerberus's space stations by now. They will be woken up 6 months prior to the Reaper invasion in Mass Effect 3 by ex-Cerberus agent Rasa. She is the one who forms the dossiers on Shepard's crew for the suicide mission.
Oh God, that means there's two motherfuckers in the galaxy going around looking like this.
One last cut content drop about Jacob here. This might come as a shock to some of you, but Taylor was originally going to be a romance option for male Shepard.
Oh, cool. Now Jacob can leave all the male Shepard players like he does the female Shepard ones.
It's one thing to cheat on a woman.
You'd know a whole lot about that, wouldn't you, Donald?
Shut the f up, Joe. It's one thing to cheat on a woman, but to betray your homies? That's unacceptable.
You guys, I haven't even gotten to the most interesting part about this. The male-male romance scene between Jacob and male Shepard would have gone shot for shot with certain sequences from Brokeback Mountain.
Roger that, Wilson.
What?
Apparently the logic was that if it matched Brokeback, it wouldn't be deemed as unacceptable in 2010. But there's different rules for film and games.
You know what? I gotta admit, BioWare have a quad on them for attempting that before same-sex marriage was legalized.
Apparently, it was deemed that America isn't ready for it.
Damn it, Wilson.
Let's just leave it at this. Mass Effect 2 was originally going to have a lot more same-sex relationships, but a certain news program lit BioWare up for the sex scenes in Mass Effect 1. This scared some management at BioWare, or perhaps even higher-ups at EA. We'll never really know who's responsible, but needless to say, the fallout is why characters like Jack aren't romanceable by female Shepard.
And look at where we are now. You can view whole-ass sex scenes in Baldur's Gate 3, including one involving a guy who can transform into a bear. And in Cyberpunk 2077, you can literally walk around buck naked with your cock and balls hanging out.
That's an interesting way of looking at things, Donald.
If BioWare have maintained their balls at all, they'll push the envelope even further and let us sleep with more aliens in the next Mass Effect.
You already know Rockstar's about to go crazy with GTA 6 with how acceptable things have become.
I will be interested to see if we get GTA 6 before we finish the Mass Effect trilogy.
Bastards got me in the leg!
Hey, look, it's Mass Effect 2's Jenkins.
Don't compare this dirty rat to a true goat like Richard Leroy Jenkins.
Wilson here continues a trend in a lot of BioWare's games where you receive a temporary party member that dies. You've got Wilson here in Mass Effect 2, Jenkins in 1, and Davith and Jory, the Grey Warden recruits who don't survive the joining from Dragon Age Origins, for example.
Thanks, Shepard.
Hey, does Wilson not sound kind of familiar to either of you?
I know the voice, I just can't place it.
It's Stephen Bloom. You might recognize him from Naruto, Ben 10, Cowboy Bebop, and The Legend of Korra, to name a few of his works.
What the f? They got Spike Spiegel in Mass Effect and I never noticed?
What a goddamn waste. The voice of Vilgax is in Mass Effect and he's doing Wilson of all people?
Besides, I was shot. How do you explain that?
Okay, we took him down, but this is getting tense. Shepard, if I tell you who we work for, will you trust me?
Probably not Jacob, but give us your best shot.
To be honest, I'd rather deal with Jacob than Wilson, and that's saying a lot.
Off the boss. It's your ass, Jacob.
The Lazarus Project, the program that rebuilt you. It's funded and controlled by Cerberus.
We should have started blasting the moment the name Cerberus left Jacob's mouth.
Hey, we're kind of glossing right over Cerberus murdering one of the Alliance's rear admirals.
And Kahoku wasn't an annoying up-his-own-ass bastard like Mikhailovich. He seemed like a decent guy.
Kahoku led his men against the Batarians during the Skillian Blitz. He was a pretty good admiral right up until Cerberus wiped him and all his men off the scoreboard.
Hey, listen, it'd be like that sometimes. Cerberus does whatever it takes to get humanity ahead of all the aliens.
Donald, there is no goddamn way you're going to spend this entire game backing Cerberus.
I believe Donald already said he was a financial backer of Cerberus as it is. He's neck deep in the Kool-Aid.
Nobody knows who he really is.
The elusive man's real name is Jack Harper. He was a somewhat wealthy civilian with a job and family, but when the first contact war started, he fought during the Shaanxi occupation under Ashley's grandfather, General Williams.
I feel like the elusive man would drone strike you just for knowing his real name.
Ha! That's a good one, Donald.
You can't drone strike the God Emperor himself.
How many goddamn mechs are there?
This is the last wave of them.
I love Mass Effect 2, but I can already tell you dealing with these mechs is gonna get old.
Damn, good throw, Barack.
That's what I do, y'all, dropping bombs like it's no one's business.
You gotta admit, the flashbang grenade was a pretty good call.
Don't pat yourself on the back too hard there, Joe. Everyone knows the flashbang is an insane bonus power.
Okay, well, I f***ed that one up.
So much for dropping bombs. You've lost your touch, Barack.
Come on, through here. We're almost at the... Miranda, but you were...
I'd say it was nice knowing you, Wilson, but not really.
Wilson, I'm sorry, Wilson.
Yeah, we didn't know that guy anywhere near long enough for that castaway reference to work, Joe.
Wilson betrayed us all.
Did we ever figure out if Wilson actually betrayed Cerberus and why?
Various audio logs will show us that Wilson is annoyed with Miranda for being a bitch. His words, not mine. That aside, information in Legion's Shadow Broker dossier will reveal that Wilson was in fact acting on behalf of the broker.
I wonder if that incident, the first time Shepard starts to wake up, was Wilson attempting to get Shepard killed. Miranda said his estimates were off, but maybe he flubbed the results on purpose.
Not a bad theory from you at all, Joe.
We get to Mass Effect 2, and all of a sudden this guy can start theory crafting with the best of them.
Lying to the commander isn't the way to get him to join our cause.
Well, since we're getting everything out in the open, is there anything else you want to ask before we go, Commander? Before you meet with the elusive man, we need
As was mentioned at the end of Mass Effect 1, this little interview would be where you officially locked in whoever became the first human counselor.
It's been 2 years since.
But that's only in the original trilogy. The Legendary Edition does record the decision.
Ask the questions.
Did you say 2 years? I've been gone that long?
Didn't Jacob already tell us we were out for 2 years?
Damn, maybe Miranda's right to check our memory. We gotta screw loose somewhere.
The sooner we can be done. Start with personal history.
Okay. Records show you were a colony kid. Lost your parents when slavers hit Mindwar. You enlisted and led troops during some heavy fighting, most notably on Torfin. Do you remember taking on some Batarian slavers?
It was the best get back of all time. We spun the block for Mindwar and for Talitha.
I'm surprised to hear you keeping Talitha in your prayers, Donald.
Those Batarians can't get a W no matter what.
If you care to know Talitha, will reach out to us in an email. She's getting some much-needed professional help and is doing better.
Something more recent. Vermeer, where you destroyed Saren's cloning facility. You had to leave one of your squad behind to die in the blast.
Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams was killed in action.
She wasn't killed in action. Ashley was murdered in cold blood by this son of a bitch sitting right next to me.
Donald, I thought we were burying the hatchet.
I only said that so the intro of the video would flow nicely. The only thing I want to bury right now is you, Joe. But putting you in the ground where Kaidan should be would be a mercy. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but at some point or another, I'm going to make you feel pain, accept pain, and no pain.
Bro thinks he's Nagato Uzumaki.
Barry, I'm kind of scared now.
Nope, don't come crawling to me for help. You shit your bed, and now you have to sleep in it. You know as well as I do that Donald isn't the type to let a grudge go.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Enough with the quizzes. The memories are there, and I can vouch for Shepard's combat skills personally.
It's time for our first meeting with the man himself.
The elusive man knew not to see us face to face.
Say whatever you want about him, but the elusive man has one of the best theme songs in the game.
Hey, come to think of it, wasn't Miranda here at the opening cutscene of the game?
Yeah, what of it?
Doesn't that mean she knew where the elusive man's HQ was? She could have saved a lot of trouble in Mass Effect 3.
Do you really think the elusive man would be dumb enough to keep his station in one location?
Obviously, the station moves from time to time to keep people from tracking the elusive man down. Very few operatives have actually set foot on it and seen the man in person. However, there are 24 individuals that operate the place. These are the true zealots of Cerberus, the die-hard believers who see the elusive man as God. Not even Miranda is as loyal as these people.
You need to earn the right to ask me those kinds of questions.
Cerberus isn't as evil as you believe.
That's a fitted cap if I've ever heard one.
Let's see, we already know about Admiral Kahoku and his men. What other obviously evil things can I pull out of my Cerberus file?
We're at war.
Oh, here's one.
No one wants to admit it.
How about the time Cerberus drugged a 12-year-old girl with autism just to strengthen her biotics, which worsened her condition and about damn near killed her from a seizure?
Hey, listen, you got to do what you got to do to empower humanity.
Keep that same energy when we get to the end of Mass Effect 3, Donald.
The elusive man can't be blamed for what he does in 3. He was indoctrinated. Right now, he's genuinely doing his best for humanity.
For what you spent to bring me back.
You're unique. Not just in ability or what you've experienced, but in what you represent.
Damn, the elusive man is straight-glazing Barton Joe Shepard.
Is it glazing if you're just speaking facts?
You're a symbol. And I don't know if the Reapers understand fear, but you killed one.
Bro, we did not kill Sovereign, Joker did. How did we steal the valor for that from our pilot?
It's kind of like how Thomas Edison gets all the credit for being the greatest inventor of all time, and everyone just forgets about what Nikola Tesla contributed to society.
The only thing that matters in the end is whoever history remembers. Maybe Joker should have jumped out the Normandy and broken his arm punching Sovereign out.
That would certainly get him a place in history, not a particularly good one,
Is this a
though.
volunteer job, or am I being volunteered?
You always have a choice, Shepard. If you don't find the evidence we're both looking for, we can part ways.
How about I go there looking for the evidence, and whether I find anything or not, we part ways regardless.
If only Mass Effect 2 let you do that. Imagine an entirely different chain of missions where you choose to return to the Alliance and work to stop the Collectors from there.
That would be a perfect use of the Paragon Renegade system as well.
The elusive man is very impressed with you. I'm eager to see if you can live up to his expectations on this mission.
If memory serves me here, this first conversation with Miranda doesn't exactly go well.
Maybe Wilson had a bit of a point when he called Miranda an ice queen.
Miranda's cold here, but that's just the way I like it. Sour and then sweet.
Jesus Christ, Barack, stick to pretending to be a Marxist if that's your best pickup line.
Even I got secondhand embarrassment from that one.
You guys always say I'm cringe, but I was right about Barton Joe Shepard and right about the cut content corner. Why don't the both of you stick to beefing with each other?
Only time will tell if you prove to be an asset or a liability to our cause.
Liability, I'm definitely leaning on liability.
It's worth pointing out here that Miranda also wanted to put a control chip into Shepard to make us bend to the will of Cerberus.
Sometimes you gotta do whatever it takes to get the job done.
Barry flipped on Cerberus as soon as the topic of Miranda doing immoral things came up.
I just agreed to work with him. I still don't trust him.
Do you trust me, Commander?
Hell no!
Trust is earned, Taylor.
I don't think I recall Jacob doing anything particularly evil during his time with Cerberus.
Jacob isn't interesting enough to have a checkered past like Miranda.
I'll just have to earn that.
But he is aware of the more messed up things Cerberus does. And he mostly just goes with the flow.
Ah, good old complacency, it never fails.
So much of what we did in the Alliance seemed pointless.
That's just because you didn't have Shepard's aura, Taylor. If you were built like us, you'd be able to do all the important stuff.
Nothing changed. Politics.
What made him think putting humans of all species in charge of the Council will remove the politics?
When colonies go missing, we don't commission a team to write a report to figure out what the hell to do about it. We just go and find out.
Isn't this basically a rehash of Garrus's motivations for joining Shepard?
Damn.
5 years in total.
That's actually a good call, Donald.
The galaxy.
Garrus leaves CSEC because of red tape, and Jacob leaves the Alliance because of red tape. Both of them join Shepard, hoping to get better results without being restrained by the bureaucracy.
Are the Corsairs anything worth a damn?
Not really. What Jacob tells us here is all there is to say about them.
They're just specters without any of the authority and N7 operatives without any of the training.
Strange. No bodies, no structure.
Got to give the Collectors points for their efficiency. They really cleaned this place out.
Apparently, Freedom's Progress had a lot of potential as a colony. It has beautiful rainbows, mountain ranges, and a lot of land for agriculture. Unfortunately, the Collectors have all but killed the colony. No one is going to want to live here now. The blackout of communications and subsequent disappearances of all the citizens has turned this place into a beacon of anxiety and dread.
I mean, it's located in the terminus systems. Something like this is going to happen sooner or later. I just don't know what would be worse. Being processed into organic goo by the collectors or being enslaved by the Batarians.
I'd take my chances with the Batarians. Rather, I want them to pull up.
I got a real bad feeling about this.
It's still the prologue tutorial, Barack. You better have this.
Yeah, but these tutorial missions can be deceptively difficult on Insanity. I may have just made a fatal mistake.
You can figure your way out of this, Barry.
This damn dog.
Oh, this is a bad look, Barack.
Let me out!
Oh, you're actually so cooked, Barry.
Damn it! Ugh, come on, man.
So what went wrong there, Barack?
For some stupid reason, I used Miranda's warp on a mech that didn't have any armor. I needed that for this Fenris mech instead.
Well, glad I won't be the first person to die in my favorite Mass Effect game.
Don't get too cocky there, Joe. You weren't the first to die in Mass Effect 1, and you still wound up with the most deaths.
Sounds like Fenris mechs.
Strength. Security systems were disabled.
Man, Shields really ain't shit on Insanity.
One of the reasons I like Insanity is that this is probably closer to how kinetic shields and barriers work in the actual lore in Mass Effect.
Joe's just so used to being able to just walk through damage on casual.
Shields and barriers typically only stand up to a few rounds of gunfire, and then they take a fair amount of time to recharge. At least that's the case in the Mass Effect novels.
Hey, Barack, I'm thinking your mistake on that last run was not moving Miranda and Jacob forward so they could take the aggro from the robot doggies.
You're probably right, but it was pretty fucking funny watching Jacob try to fall back and then just fall over dead.
You're in trouble again.
When all else fails, we run away.
Now that's a tactical retreat. Hell of a lot better than what Joe was doing during the Luna VI mission.
Oh, so when you guys run away, you're geniuses, but when I do, it's Joe doesn't know how to play.
Mass Effect 2 is a different ballgame. Donald had a point. We got to keep squad mate placement in mind here.
They've seen us.
Nope, I'm not dealing with another one of you mutts.
Barack, did you just... Bro just flashed himself. That's crazy.
I guess Mass Effect 1 is more your speed, eh, Barry?
Barack, I can forgive one death during the prologue, but not two. I'm gonna have to clown you if you don't clutch up here.
Thank fucking God Sentinel is so good.
Oh, look, a group of Quarian migrants on a human colony.
Migrants? Where?
Relax, Donald. Look, it's Tali.
Wait, look, it is Tali. Let's fucking go.
It's a good thing she recognizes us despite us missing our scar from the first game.
Yeah, I think the red skin stands out more than the barely visible scar that ran down our eye.
I wound up taking care of Tali's loyalty mission off screen. And trust me, you guys didn't miss much. So let's see what Tali says when you remind her of the Geth data.
Data tally? Did it help you complete your pilgrimage?
Yes, it did. Praza, weapons down. This is definitely Commander Shepard.
She believes you're Shepard regardless. It doesn't matter.
Tali will also fulfill her pilgrimage without Shepard's health, too. Imagine doing that tedious-ass mission just for it to have zero story implication.
Well, don't worry. Tali's loyalty mission in this game will make up for her dog one.
His name was Vitor. We came to find him.
Now we're working with Cerberus?
No, Praza, you're working for me. If you can't follow orders, go wait on the ship.
Oh, damn, Tali, I see you eating it up.
Not the nervous kid she was on her pilgrimage anymore.
Nervous? Tali's introduction to us involved her blowing up some people trying to kill her with a proximity grenade. She's always had that dog in her.
Like Cerberus. What did I miss?
They killed our people, infiltrated our flotilla, and tried to blow up one of our ships.
That's not how I'd have explained it exactly.
Oh, really, Miranda? Well, I'll explain it. In Mass Effect Ascension, Cerberus operatives led by Paul Grayson infiltrated the Quarian ship known as the Idena in order to retrieve Jillian Grayson, the 12-year-old biotic I mentioned earlier. They killed a bunch of Quarians and attempted to blow the Idena up with a bomb. Thankfully, it was stopped.
Damn, you really jumped down Miranda's throat for that one.
Listen, I like Miranda, but I'm not going to let her get away with saying BS.
Oh God, not the drones again.
Relax, Joe. The drones are a lot easier now than they were on Luna.
Bro has PTSD from those things.
Time for our first big mini-boss of the game.
Ironically, this mech fight will be relatively easy compared to the later ones.
What the hell are the Quarians doing standing out in front of the mech?
Getting gunned down, that's what I guess it works out the Quarians can't afford too many people on their flotilla.
Yeah, but this is brutal, and the fact that this is technically happening because of Vitor doesn't help.
Nah, this isn't Vitor's fault. Praza and the rest of them should have waited for us. It's their own fault they got juiced.
Especially because they're Quarians. Most of them should be tech experts. Where are the overloads and energy drains?
This is gonna be one tough son of a bitch to take down.
Not really. A Sentinel Shepard and Miranda will eat this mech up.
Barry, I hope you don't say all of this and then get totally bodied.
All right, look, I know I had a rough go of things earlier, but I'll redeem myself here.
You got the perfect cover as is. The mech can't really get you there.
You can hide on the ledges of the buildings numbered 25 and 95, but I prefer to just rotate around these sets of crates here and cut the mech down until it's dead.
It's a good thing the Ymir mechs don't have intelligent AI like the Geth. Because I bet it would be mad as hell getting stuck in this game of Ring Around a Rosie.
Realistically, the mech should be capable of just knocking these crates away and then blasting us.
Damn, and these mechs were put here to defend the colony from pirates and mercenaries. If this is all it takes to deal with them, then Freedom's progress was doomed, no matter who showed up to trouble them.
This is also a real bad look for Tali's friends. They really got dropped by this thing.
Clear the blast zone!
Hide forever. Monsters will find you.
Poor kid, he's completely traumatized and neurotic.
We don't got time for all of that. We got some questions.
Colony to listen to you babble. Snap out.
What the f***? Are we gonna shoot him?
This is what happens when you don't listen to your dad when he tells you to get off that damn game.
Well, we're Americans. This is the only way we can get people to listen to us.
Hey, kid, you kind of slaughtered a whole lot of your people. I think like half a dozen of them at least.
You know, it's a good thing Tali wasn't caught up in all that.
If Vitor had gotten Tali killed, the collectors would have been the least of his worries.
Don't worry, Tali would never be dumb enough to get wiped by a Ymir mech.
They took everyone.
We're not survivors, Vitor. We just got here.
You don't know. You didn't see. But I see everything.
Looks like security footage. He must have pieced it together manually.
What the hell is that?
My God. I think it's a collector.
How nice of Mass Effect 2 to introduce a completely new alien species that was never mentioned anywhere else in Mass Effect 1.
This might surprise some people, especially if you never read the novels. But the collectors were introduced as a concept in Mass Effect Ascension, which was published in 2008, a couple of years before Mass Effect 2 dropped.
Bro, there is nothing I hate more than when games add additional content in books. I don't play video games to read.
I'm with you, Joe. I don't care if Kai Lang is more capable as an assassin in the novels. I'm going to keep clowning him no matter what.
Well, don't worry. I read the novels for you guys so I can drop more lore when the time is right. They're actually not that bad, by the way. Well, all of them, except for Deception.
And then they left. The ship flew away.
What?
Time for what might be the first impactful decision of the game.
Anyone familiar with the Paragon Renegade system in Mass Effect 2 knows it's percentage-based.
Your people tried to betray
Your
us
ability
already.
to choose the most important persuasion options will come down to how many of the available Paragon or Renegade points you've earned. We can't afford to be split here.
Well, we're already neck deep in Renegade thanks to Mass Effect 1. Don't screw this up, Joe.
Okay, but the renegade decision here is to send Vitor to Cerberus, which is straight up the wrong decision.
We have a little bit of breathing room here, so I will not send Vitor to Cerberus, but we got to make sure we're locked into one path by the time we reach Tali's and Legion's argument later in the game.
Good, because sending the kid there is a bad look all around.
Vitor will be a broken mess the next time you see him during Tali's loyalty mission. Given how brutal Cerberus's torture tactics are in the novels, I can tell you Vitor is better off going with Tali. Besides, Cerberus doesn't even get anything important out of him.
But more importantly, you confirm the collectors are behind the abductions.
Good, well, nice working with you, Elusive Man. I'm taking this information back to the Alliance later, loser.
Also, we're forwarding all the information we gathered about you to the Council.
It's pretty crazy that the Elusive Man's plans completely hinge on Shepard choosing to not return to the Alliance even when there's nothing stopping us.
The Alliance aren't doing anything about the missing colonists. Shepard is right to stick by Cerberus here.
Some of the specimens the collectors typically look for are, say, unique biotic humans or Asari with Krogan ancestry.
Oh no, Liara.
Don't worry, Liara is fine.
If this is a war, I'll need an army. Or a really good team.
It's time for us to form a suicide squad.
Time to spend 80% of this game recruiting people and earning their loyalty.
That's just the way I like it.
Convincing them to work with you could be challenging, but you're a natural leader. First, Head to Omega and find Morden.
The technically correct thing to do would be going to recruit Morden, but I've got a different plan for us before we end the episode.
You might regret not having upgrades for what you're about to do, Barack.
Wait, what's he gonna do?
You'll find out later, Joe. I don't want you losing your mind right
I
now.
found a pilot I think you might like. I hear he's one of the best. Someone you can trust.
There's only one pilot in the galaxy I'll ever trust.
Well, here he is right here.
It's the Reaper Killer himself, Jeff Joker Moreau.
Commander. Just like old times, huh?
I can't believe it's you, Joker.
Look who's talking.
Wait, I thought Joker needed crutches to walk around.
He's still kind of moving like an old man.
Hey, Joker. We gotta talk about you not abandoning the Normandy when it was getting blown up, causing me to get spaced. It kinda sucked, you know?
You really gonna hold a grudge over this, Joe?
I'm just saying a sorry or my bad would be nice.
Hell yeah, I joined Cerberus.
Why the hell did the Alliance ground one of their highest performing pilots? The Normandy was at the head of the Arcturus fleet when it took down Sovereign.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, to be honest. No way would Admiral Hackett not give Joker another post.
Oh, sweet mama Jesus, it's another Normandy.
Gotta give Cerberus one thing. They know how to make a ship.
Shepard is up there thinking, yup, we're not leaving this organization without this thing.
You done f***ed up now, Elusive Man. This is my ship now.
Stealing the Normandy SR-2 has to be the most devious lick in human history. Even Kasumi would be jealous of this.
Still kind of crazy that Cerberus went from being a small-time human splinter terrorist group to being able to remake the most advanced frigate in the Alliance and then improving upon it.
Actually, did you guys know there have been 3 Normandy vessels?
Nah, you're making this one up, Barack. No shot is there a Normandy besides the one we just watched get blown up and the one Cerberus built.
On God. Sometime after the SR-1 is destroyed, the Alliance will build a second Normandy-class frigate called the SSV Angelut. Its notable accomplishment is attacking a Batarian colony world in 2185. This only occurs if you let the Council be killed at the end of Mass Effect 1.
So wait, they were making a second Normandy-class vessel and didn't recruit the best pilot in the Alliance to fly it?
To be fair, Joker only got on the first Normandy because he stole it, and Captain Anderson decided he didn't want anyone else flying the ship. Anderson is a counselor now, so no one is probably all too fond of having the guy who took the ship on a joyride being their pilot.
Oh, hell yeah, we hopped out of that Cerberus fit and into some real clothes.
If you're wondering, we have the Mass Effect 3 hoodie, thanks to Ahmad.
Goddamn, I like the ship, but did they have to make everything so goddamn bright?
It is quite the contrast from how dark the original Normandy was. Though that probably has something to do with the Alliance's ship being a military vessel and Cerberus's being more of a civilian or corporate design.
That would explain why there's so much damn empty space on this ship, despite how small the crew is.
Welcome aboard the new Normandy, Commander.
Say whatever you want. Barton Joe Shepard is smiling, and that means I like it too.
I've been looking over the dossiers. I'd strongly recommend starting by acquiring Morden Solus, the Solarian professor on Omega.
I'll let our actual plans be known to Joe now. We're going to go recruit Kasumi on the Citadel and do a quick speed run of her loyalty mission.
Did someone say Kasumi?
Oh God, here we go again.
I'm risking my death count here so we can get the Casa Locust early on so Joe and Donald have an easier time.
Wow, thanks, Obama.
Oh, I've been waiting to hear this voice since part 1 of Mass Effect 1.
All of a sudden, Donald is real fond of synthetics.
You know, Jack has a point. Edie's hologram does resemble a vibrator.
Bruh.
And her mouth kind of resembles a...
Stop, not another word, you two. This is not a smash or pass.
Smash, by the way.
Attaboy, Joe.
In charge of the Normandy system should give us an advantage.
Let's make some stops to talk to our crew for the first time.
Can you believe this, Commander? It's my baby. Better than new. It fits me like a glove.
Well, Joker sure seems glad to be under new employment, even if it's for a terrorist organization.
Joker has his priorities straight. He doesn't care what he's doing as long as he gets to fly a beautiful ship.
Is not intended to be perfect, Mr. Moreau. Seamless improvements were made.
And there's the downside.
He's less happy about having his own version of Cortana installed on the Normandy, however.
Thing I don't want to talk about. It's like ship cancer.
And one day she'll be your girlfriend, Joker. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Enjoy it, Joker. If we're stuck here, we might as well let them pamper us.
Commander.
And now it's time to talk with Jacob, who I guess is in charge of maintaining our weapons.
Do we have to?
We come down on Jacob a lot here, and often not for no reason, but since we aren't romancing him, he'll just be a boring guy.
Yet you still pick the renegade option.
Well, I still have an obligation to get renegade points where possible, so I might as well get them from Taylor.
I'm an employee because I believe in their current direction. Doesn't mean I don't have concerns about their past actions.
I wonder if Jacob realizes that the second he decides he can't tolerate Cerberus's actions, they aren't going to just let him leave.
Well, at least Jacob is honest about things. I'll give him that.
Sounds like we're two of a kind.
Whoa, let's not get crazy now. Two of a kind, my ass.
Let me know if you need anything.
I'm Yeoman Kelly Chambers. I've been assigned as your
Miss Chambers, my favorite psychology student.
A lot of people disagree with the decision to make Kelly's appearance in Mass Effect 2 match her appearance in Mass Effect 3. We didn't do it here, but there is a mod that'll return her to her OG look.
Okay, Kelly.
Damn, she liked that. Apparently all you gotta do is call a girl by her first name.
And luckily, we can pursue a little liaison with Kelly without locking ourselves out of other, more fleshed-out romances. That's what I like to see.
Or appointments you might have. If any of the crew has important business to discuss, I'll make sure you know.
She's a glorified secretary, basically. It's a good thing Bill isn't here. He'd probably try making a move on Kelly right this second.
Unofficially, I observe the crew. Everyone knows how risky our mission is. Many of us may not be coming back. That's a lot of pressure. I have a degree in psychology. I'm good at sensing when people are overly taxed.
Kelly, sweetheart, no amount of psychology training is going to prepare you for the absolute clusterfuck of mental problems we're about to bring aboard the Normandy.
Hell, patient number 1 is standing right in front of her. I'm pretty sure our Shepard still has some things to work out being a survivor of Mindoir and being known as the Ruthless Commander that sent his own men into a grinder just to kill Batarians that already surrendered.
Well, Kelly will get to take it easy for today at least. Kasumi is probably the most well-adjusted squad mate in Mass Effect 2.
Not exactly tough competition, to be fair.
Advance human technology, save human lives. They're good goals.
Commander Shepard.
Now we have one of the more underrated crewmates of the Normandy, Mess Sergeant Gardner.
This right here is what the Normandy SR-1 was missing. A proper cook. Ain't no one trying to eat MREs in space. I want an actual chef.
Donald, it was a military vessel. Why would we need an actual cook?
Excuses. I'm telling you, if we'd had a cook on the SR-1, the thing would have survived the Collector attack. That's how important good food is. This is something the Elusive Man and Sergeant Gardner understand.
Well, it's no surprise Gardner wasn't brought back in Mass Effect 3.
Definitely Anderson's only Major L bro wasn't thinking far enough ahead.
You've got more to worry about than grocery shopping on the Citadel. Forget I mentioned it.
Commander Shepard, I watched the Normandy crumble with you on board.
And I watched you and everyone else fly off while I suffocated in the cold vacuum of space. Good times all around.
Garrus and Tali get a lot of points for riding with us over 3 games. But you gotta give Dr. Chakwas her props too. She could be serving in a top-of-the-line hospital on Earth or the Citadel. Instead, she signed up for a dangerous mission to stop the Collectors. She's a real one.
I'll never forgive BioWare for not including her in the Citadel DLC.
After the Normandy was lost, the surviving crew was reassigned. I was stationed at the Mars Naval Medical Center, a very respectable position, but it wasn't on a starship.
I can understand that. Even if we've colonized Mars, it's still a giant f***ing dust bowl. I'd rather be in space too.
People always make it seem like going to Mars is the bee's knees.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. There's no way you'd catch me trying to start a life on Mars of all places.
The doctor sounds like she gets off just being on a spaceship.
Jesus Christ, Donald.
You have a minute, Miranda?
Miranda is a bit kinder to us in this conversation. What was her deal in the first one?
I'm guessing having 2 years of work nearly ruined by that bald bastard Wilson probably had her on edge.
What would you like to know?
Tell me about yourself, Miranda.
Oh, I guess that's fair. I've spent the last 2 years learning everything there is to know about you.
Oh God, Miranda knows every inch of our body.
Damn, the romance scene with her must be like treading old ground.
As I mentioned before, Miranda was known as the Cerberus Superwoman during the development of Mass Effect 2. Most of the core traits of this character made it over to the Miranda we know now. Being genetically engineered, having a wealthy parent, being very intelligent, etc. The major difference here is it seems the original plan was to have Miranda's loyalty be earned by helping her learn more about the Elusive Man, as the Superwoman was actually the man's protege.
What level of genetic modification are we talking about?
Shepard, you can't just ask a lady that.
Miranda knows all of our modifications. It's only fair if we get to know about hers.
Little side note there. Miranda claims she'll live half again as long as the average human. Since Ashley said humans are lucky to reach 150, this possibly means Miranda could live to be between 200 and 225 years old.
Maybe I should run by Henry Lawson myself. If I live 225 years, I'll make it just in time to meet the Asari.
Donald, even if you made it, you'd be so decrepit you wouldn't be able to do anything.
I wouldn't need longer than 2 minutes.
We got to keep Donald away from the Asari at all cost.
Abilities.
Thanks for the information, Miranda. I'll talk to you later.
You came all the way down.
One last stop to see our favorite engineers.
That's right, we said it. Fuck Engineer Adams.
Did we even speak to Adams last game?
I don't think so. He doesn't really have much to say anyway. Now, Kenneth and Gabby, these two are always worth a visit.
That's Engineer Gabriella Daniels, actually. I'm responsible for the propulsion systems.
The list of things I'd do for that accent are endless.
Interesting note about Ken and Gabby. They served on the SSV Perugia during the Battle of the Citadel in 2183.
Can't say the elusive man didn't fill us with some worthy crewmates.
This is actually all a giant ploy by the man to manipulate us. He filled the Normandy SR-2 with familiar and sympathetic faces in order to hide the shady side of Cerberus away from us.
Yeah, well, the elusive man is going to have egg on his face when we steal his prize ship and start killing all his guys.
All right, let's get the ball rolling with our final mission of the day. We'll recruit Kasumi and then begin her loyalty mission.
It must be my birthday because I can't thank you enough for the gift of early Kasumi, Barry.
He's doing this for the Casa Locust, not so he can feed your obsession, Joe.
As with the other squad mates, you can find Kasumi's origins in the character document. She was first conceptualized as a space jacker, a thief and hacker that would be trying to steal the same thing as Shepard. Shepard wins the race, but it's heavily implied she let us win.
That sounds like copium to me.
The space jacker would also plan to steal the Normandy SR-2, referring to it as the Leviathan.
I'm actually surprised Kasumi herself never entertained stealing the Normandy.
She might have a serious problem with kleptomania, but she's not stupid. I don't think Kasumi wants to get on Shepard's bad side.
Plus, what the hell would she even do with it?
More on Kasumi's early development. Another prototype concept for the Master Thief involved her operating in the Terminus system. She would join Shepard on the condition that we help her assault a planet fortress.
I would have preferred that over her actual loyalty mission.
What? I mean, Kasumi's loyalty mission isn't my favorite, but it isn't that bad.
He just doesn't like that it involves Keiji Okuda, Kasumi's dead ex.
Don't mention that name in my presence.
Joe, he's dead. You're beefing with a corpse.
You clean up well, Mr. Solomon Gunn.
Yeah, if you ignore the glowing red scars on our face, we don't look too bad.
You know, Commander Shepard is a pretty famous individual across the galaxy. We had people recognizing us on our first visit to the Citadel. Changing our name and putting us in a fancy suit is all well and good. But surely someone at this party is going to recognize us.
I'm not surprised. All these rich motherfuckers are up their own ass.
Remind me.
Of course they wouldn't recognize Shepard. They don't give a damn about military heroes.
He killed my partner and stole his gray box.
The best thing Hawk has done in his whole life.
Jesus Christ, Joe.
Charismatic, willing to crack open a man's skull to get at the neural implants inside.
Just one moment, sir.
Seems kind of stupid for Kasumi to be pulling up like she isn't a shifty-looking thief, which is exactly what she is.
I'm no artist, but is that statue of Saren supposed to look like shit?
It's just the kind of thing a guy with too much money on his hands would want. A golden statue that perfectly shows off the failings of humanity's rival, the Turians, and the success of humanity's flesh and blood.
Damn, maybe you should work in a museum, Barack.
Also, maybe Hawk should spend less money on tacky art pieces and more on giving his guards better Omni tools. There's no way they aren't picking up the armory we have in the base of the statue.
You'd never get that many guns within the premises of the White House.
You may pass through, Mr. Gunn, with my apologies. But I will ask your companion to remain outside.
Kasumi is actually really dumb standing out in the open like this. His guards saw her when she first infiltrated his estate in the comics. Hawk should have a general idea of what Kasumi looks like.
Not that it matters. Kasumi's just going to pop her tactical cloak, which has no time limit for some reason, and stick with us the entire time.
We go on with the plan. You'll just have to do all the talking.
Man, this guy's living the life. Two beautiful green beauties on either side of him.
Nah, this guy's in the process of getting fleeced for everything he's got.
What do you mean, Barack?
High-class Asari like these two? At a human party? I bet these women come from Ilium. They're going to trick that poor bastard into signing a contract and make him their employee for the rest of his life. Then when he dies, they'll just do it again.
Is that a lore dump, Barack?
Nah, I just cooked that one up. I like to have a little fun too, you know.
Looks like an EX700 series.
So, Hawk has all this high-tier security equipment, but couldn't post a couple guards at the door.
Remember who you're talking.
Also, why was the door unlocked? We didn't even have to hack it.
If I didn't know better, Hawk planned this whole thing.
I could certainly see a world where Hawk planned on letting Kasumi stroll easily into his compound to get Keiji's gray box with the intention of trapping her.
cut the power.
But he didn't count on Miss Gatto bringing Barden Joe Shepard along for the ride.
At this point, criminals in the Milky Way need to start factoring what if Commander Shepard shows up into all their business dealings.
Standard practice should be to pick up sticks and haul ass, try again a different day.
I'll set your Omni tool to scan for electromagnetic fields. One sec.
I'm pretty sure the Asari pair and that old guy can see us.
Stealth mission my ass.
What the
Did you guys also just see Shepard's body start to fold like a lawn chair?
Turns out Mass Effect 2 isn't all that much better than 1, huh?
There he is. All you need to do is keep him talking long enough for me to get a voice print. Pull out the charm on this one, Chet.
The objective now is to get Hawk yapping.
Kasumi, people can see you leaving stealth. What if someone reports you?
Maybe they don't like Hawk and don't feel the need to report anything
That scene
strange.
at the door hasn't soured your evening, I hope.
There's always someone gunning for people like you and me.
We have a pistol on us. We could whip it out and kill Hawk right now and skip the rest of this loyalty mission.
Even without the pistol, we're a biotic and tech expert.
It's a ballsy move.
We could kill him with a warp blast.
Or alternatively, we can do it the old-fashioned way and just beat his ass with our bare
I don't
hands.
fear anyone stupid enough to step up to me. People these days want comfort, entertainment.
Oh God, he's really yapping now.
Bro's got a doctorate in yapology.
Look at all these fucking NPCs turning around to listen to this nonsense.
Not a unique thought in the minds of any of these people.
Things that keep the galaxy spinning.
What in the f*** is Blood talking about?
Bro is just saying shit, to be honest.
Support structure for the galaxy's gleeful delusions of peace.
Man, shut your dumb ass up. What do you know about maintaining peace?
What are they clapping for?
Low-key, I kind of want to just start airing this place out. I don't know why, but listening to Hawk run his mouth just annoyed me.
Bro's nodding his head like he really did something here.
Get him talking, and you got him talking. We've got enough of a voice sample. Let him go.
Okay, there's no way around it now. These people 100% can see us.
Yep, they're totally brain dead. We're just going to stroll right into security.
They know to keep their mouth shut. Let's go in.
Hey, we caught you boys slacking off.
Boy, I sure hope no one can hear all this gunfire and glass breaking.
We're not even wearing any armor. How are we alive?
Miranda definitely did a good job rebuilding us.
All right, I'm taking out my annoyance about Hawk's speech on these two guys. That's better.
Hawk's guards really ain't worth a damn. All the money just to hire mercenaries, not even Blue Suns or Eclipse either. Just nameless nobodies.
Poor guys were just hanging back watching some Krogan cartoons.
You have two options with getting into Hawk's bedroom. You can go through the door by tricking the guard, or you can just hop down here and silently take out the guards.
Silently with all this gunfire?
Well, it was silently with quotation marks.
All that damn screaming for nothing.
This is the worst goddamn stealth mission I've seen in my entire life.
I guess the piano music is too loud for anyone to hear all of this.
Uh-oh, someone's onto us.
I think we're gonna have to kill those guys, Barack. No witnesses.
Guards broke the window. You didn't hear someone breaking a window? No gunshots?
I can't hear anything with the music in there.
Oh my God, they do legitimately blame the music.
You see that?
Well, here, is this loud enough for you? Did that miss?
You're washed up, Barack.
Okay, we'll try that again. Is this loud enough for you? There we go.
Bro had to do a take two on the bit.
Did he just tell us to stop?
Oh no, please stop. No, don't do this.
All right, I know we're beating a dead horse here, but are these walls soundproof or something?
It's crazy that the Citadel DLC mission has a better stealth section than Kasumi's loyalty mission.
Let's just get back into the vault and finally get things started for real.
So this is where Hawk keeps all of his artwork.
How the hell did he even get the Statue of Liberty's head down here?
More to the point, who damaged the statue in the first place?
The Statue of Liberty was destroyed on November 1st, 2096, when the Freedom's first extremist group attacked Liberty Island. This was a part of the Second American Civil War.
Wait, excuse me?
Yep. Later in the 21st century, Canada, Mexico, and the USA will merge together to create the United North American States, abbreviated UNAS. This union will be strongly opposed by a faction of secessionists, which included the Freedom's First group.
Side note, BioWare are cowards for not including the cock on the Statue of David. It's art. You should be allowed to include it.
So, you're telling me within the next 70 years we're going to have another civil war?
Yep, mark your calendars, folks.
I'm just glad it won't be because of me.
Doesn't look like much. but that might be one of the most valuable pieces here.
The bird should stick to military and leave art to the Asarian humans, because what the hell is this?
I think its simple curves are... actually, I got nothing. This is trash.
Well, you know the saying, art is in the eye of the beholder.
That sounds like copium.
Next up here we have an ogre from Dragon Age Origins.
Who would win, Shepard or an ogre?
Coughing baby versus nuclear bomb ass question.
Joe, ogres get killed by humans using swords, arrows, other medieval weaponry, and admittedly magic. Meanwhile, just a standard pistol from Mass Effect fires off metal shavings that are blasted using small Mass Effect fields and electromagnetic propulsion. Hell, the words I just said would probably make the ogre hurt itself in confusion.
So I'm guessing the answer is Shepard wins.
It's sci-fi space versus the Middle Ages, bro. I could probably kill an ogre with an AA-12 with a switch.
With a switch is overkill, Donald.
Well, you know my saying, there's no kill like overkill.
That's a Casa Locust. No, the Casa Locust. The gun that killed 2 presidents.
The gun that did what?
Hey, Joe, I think you can have 2024. I'm gonna sit this one out.
No, Donald, you deserve a second term. Don't let me stand in your way.
Calm down, you two.
Now what's this?
You're both far off from suffering at the hands of the Locust. One of them wasn't even American. In 2176, a Virginian patent clerk named Michael Moser Lang will use a M12 Locust to assassinate the president of the UNAS, Enrique Aguilar. The president of the Chinese People's Federation, Ying Xiong, will attempt to save President Aguilar by tackling him to the ground. Unfortunately, both men end up being fatally wounded, regardless.
While you were yapping, Hawk decided to rear his ugly head.
I'd rather be shot with the Locust right now than have to listen to Hawk's grandstanding.
I need what's in your grey box, Kasumi. You know I'm willing to kill you for it.
Never mind, I'd rather shoot Hawk myself.
You'll have to do that on your own time, Joe. Hawk is mine today. Yeah, bro, I heard enough of your yapping upstairs.
No!
Cry about it.
I got your attention.
Oh, he didn't like that.
That shut him up.
We should call the Normandy in to just level the rest of all this crap.
Kill them.
All right, this is going to be a bit of a challenge.
It's just a loyalty mission.
Yeah, but we have absolutely 0 upgrades, basic armor, and we're low leveled. These missions are typically meant to be done later on, so God willing, I'm able to keep it together.
Hawk can't be too worried about his art pieces if he sent his goons in here guns blazing all over the place.
I'm coming up there to box you, Ro.
That's what I like to see.
3 health bars is devious this early in the game.
Oh,
Easy, Barack. Don't get too crazy.
This actually looks like it's extremely tedious.
I'm starting to wish we'd gone and gotten Morden first, if I'm being honest.
Ro is on the retreat. You got it, Barack?
What the hell?
She decided to double back.
Good. The guns. Hold these hands, Chief Ro.
Barack, you have been pinned here for over 3 minutes.
Look, man, this is tough. These mechs aren't like the ones we fought on Freedom's Progress. It especially doesn't help that we don't have a 3rd squad mate with us. We're lacking damage. I'd even take Jacob right now if we could get him.
All right, but you got to find a way to progress. This is putting me to sleep.
Oh my God, I just ran out of thermal clips.
And there's none scattered on the ground? You're f***ed.
All right, Kasumi distracts the mech while I try to move on.
It's already got a bead on you, buddy.
I'll make it.
Hall of Fame run from you there, Barack. I'm impressed.
We have to find another way.
Please be unlocked. Please be unlocked.
Can't run from this battle, Barry.
All right, I got no choice here. Your ass is grass, Ymir mech.
Oh, that guy's coming over to play.
That's my purse. I don't know you.
Bro thinks biotics will work against the concentrated power of these hands.
Did he just get flattened by the mech exploding?
That's just what I needed.
See, you don't need guns in this game.
Thank fucking God, man.
And now it's a 10-minute hold behind this same bit of cover.
Kasumi keeps dying, and we're down to 1 thing of Medigel.
I'm not gonna lie, this is starting to stress me out a little. Haven't felt like this since the old days.
Well, if it makes you feel better, you haven't died yet.
Whoa!
Damn, they really punished you for sticking out of cover for that brief second.
Hey, you're tied with me now, Barry. How about that?
Well, I had a feeling this would negatively impact my death count, but it is what it is. We go again. Gonna just pass this using some real firepower. There, we're clear.
Damn it, was that easy?
No, I wouldn't have made it half the distance if I hadn't reduced the numbers a little bit.
Well, great job making it this far, Barack.
Now it's time to finally put Hawk in the ground where he belongs.
Please, for the love of God, just call the Normandy in.
Joker would have a clean shot, too. Just one blast from the ship's gun, and we're out of here.
All right, time to lock in.
Up ahead.
All right, Kasumi, your path is clear now or never.
Barack, we could have avoided all this if we just played soldier or vanguard instead.
It is what it is, Donald. We're here now, no turning back.
Being a sentinel will pay off sooner or later, just wait.
Here we go.
Yeah, let's go, Kasumi.
She didn't even cloak herself so we could see her do something cool.
Hawk has got to have the reaction time of a snail to not light Kasumi up here. See, now would be a good time to stick a grenade to the chopper, but those don't exist in this game.
Kasumi said later, loser.
Oh my God, she's so goddamn cool.
That was like a 50-foot fall, and she's not wearing any armor. What the hell is she made of?
Damn, even Shepard had to crack a smile at that one. Kasumi impressed us.
You, Hawk, get out my way. Ow!
Hawk heard you talking shit, Barack.
We're so close, man.
Barack, on your left.
You gotta be f***ing kidding me.
And a new leader in the deaths has been crowned.
Joe, keep talking all you want. You have next episode.
At least Barack has an excuse. He's punching upward with no upgrades at all. I'm surprised he's only died twice on this mission.
It's not happening a third time. I'm wrapping it up. Hold this warp blast, Hawk, you son of a bitch. Annoying motherfucker, have fun looking up at me when I go back inside your compound and destroy the rest of your art.
Angry Barack is my favorite version of you.
Okay, don't go dying to the left over grunts.
The mission has finally ended. We got our Casa Locust at the cost of me dying a couple extra times.
Good work, Barack. Now we can finally see what the big deal is with this gray box.
I'm not sticking around to watch this.
The f*** you mean you're not sticking around to watch this?
I will not acknowledge the existence of the character about to appear. It messes with my head canon.
Joe, you can't be this cucked.
I'm out of here.
Well, there he goes.
Barack, man, this is not normal. Like, I know how I am about the Asari, but goddamn.
I know, he's done this ever since I introduced him to the Legendary Edition. I knew he'd fall for Jack, but I didn't think he'd be so horrendous over Kasumi.
Hasn't Jill ever said anything to him?
Jill is his #1 enabler. As long as Joe simps for Kasumi, Jill can simp for James without feeling guilty.
I guess those two really are a match made in heaven, if nothing else at all.
Anyway, what do you think I should do about the data in the gray box?
Isn't the Renegade decision to destroy it?
Yeah, you're right. We should probably stick as closely to Renegade as we can. God knows Joe is gonna f*** up and do some Paragon shit next episode.
So I'm guessing he fell in love with Kasumi and saw this part of the cutscene and lost his mind.
You know the Tesseract scene from Interstellar? It kind of looked like that, but like sadder for some reason.
Kind of wish I'd gotten to see that.
No, you don't. It wasn't funny at all. Real ugly crying is the best way to describe it.
And you hang out with the guy all the time?
Listen, I know Joe has grown a bit difficult in his old age, but he had my back for 8 years. A lot of nights playing Melee together. I mean, he was terrible at it, but it was quality time.
I wish I could relate. I couldn't get Pence to pick up a single game.
Unlucky. Joe told me Kamala only plays f***ing Bejeweled and other shit like that.
Damn, now I feel kind of bad turning down all those Mario Kart invites.
Hey, Joe, the cutscene is over.
Sweet, so we're destroying the gray box, right?
You want to pick the Renegade decision?
Of course he does, but Joe, let it be clear that I'm not doing this for your unhealthy obsession with Kasumi. I'm doing it because I think it's the right choice. The data in the gray box has to go, and Kasumi herself shouldn't be clinging to the ghost of her ex. To be quite frank, both you and her need to move on.
Fine. All right, Barry, I know you're right. I guess I'll just set my eyes on Jack.
Character development, you love to see it.
All right, get the gray box out of here.
Of course, this won't matter come Mass Effect 3. Kasumi will piece things back together for some reason, but at least she won't be obsessing over Keiji.
Yeah, instead she'll be obsessing over Jacob.
Extremely rare L by Kasumi on that one.
All right, we've reached the end of the episode.
Thank fucking God, we were here forever and I need some sleep. I'm off.
Bro isn't even gonna stick around for the outro.
All according to the Keikaku.
What are you up to, Barack?
Donald, you want your get back on Joe for what happened on Vermeer, right?
I want it so bad I can feel it in my bones, brother.
Good, then hit me up on Discord later. I have a proposition for you.
Didn't know you were such a schemer.
Well, you know, I'm always thinking ahead. Anyway, y'all stay safe out there, drink plenty of water, get some sleep, and we'll see you on the next one.